people? It's your homegirl, Shameless, all up in your building with this cutie patootie, Pierce. You guys might recognize him from my channel. We did a Halloween video, and he was giving you isolations, Birdman. But anyways, I wanted to bring him on my channel because Pierce is an awesome, talented dancer. He is young. He's so cute, and he has toured with Miley Cyrus. You did the music video, what was her name?
Kiesza.
Kiesza. Brooklyn, one take, right?
Yeah.
So he's pretty hot, so I wanted to get him before he gets too hot for this channel. But you guys know I'm all about inspiration and being shameless and all of that, and I think Pierce is a great example of that. So I have a few questions. Word to Big Bird. How did you know that this passion, love, would turn into a career?
It was the only thing that made sense to me, at least dance and acting were, and at least the only things that I could emotionally connect to.
Yeah.
I think maybe like 19, when Rhapsody James, who's one of my mentors, love her to death, she took me under her wing and I did her program. I realized I could make it into a profession.
How old were you when you started dancing?
I started dancing at 16 with ballet for like a year, and then I found out about hip hop at 17.
What bumps in the road did you encounter in the pursuit of happiness and
A lot,
dance?
honestly. Well, as I told you before, I have Asperger's syndrome, so that was kind of difficult having to deal with in this industry, especially, like, because it's like we choose to be in this industry that is filled with rejection, and I mean, I'm kind of okay with rejection because I'm kind of blind to it almost. Like, it's kind of like, oh, okay, whatever.
So what's the challenge? What's the roadblock?
Social etiquette, I think,
Oh,
at first,
okay.
you know? And then I trained myself, and with the help of, like, friends and family, like, helped me associate better. When I first got signed after, like, right before I booked Beyonce, my grandma died, and then after my grandpa died, and then I tore my meniscus, so I had to get knee surgery at 19, and it was fine.
Right,
It was
so
like,
could you dance?
no, not for a month and a half, but like it was fun. After that, I got back on the horse, quote unquote, and I booked a Macy's commercial and a Pepsi
right,
commercial,
yeah.
and I did like a couple like random music videos, and then just been hustling and trying to bust my ass ever since, you know, just.
So it sounds like even though these are like major bumps,
Yeah.
you still have these major blessings in the process.
If anything, if history has taught us anything, that humanity rises in the greatest depressions of life, and like a phoenix from the ashes, almost.
He will ascend into the sky.
You constantly have to push yourself and keep going forward, because that's the only direction God gave us.
Yay! What's been your favorite experience so far? There sounds like a lot.
Miley Cyrus. Thing.
Miley Cyrus! Duh.
It's nuts. Wild.
What advice would you give past Pias?
It's just like, I automatically know to not give a fuck. And when I say that, there's a big difference between not caring and not giving a fuck. The difference is, I think with caring, you have to care about someone's emotions and everything, but when you not giving a fuck has to do with your career and your personal benefit, and not caring about others' opinions, and not caring about what other people have to say about you, and what they may do to deter you from your path. Like, that's not giving a fuck.
Take the higher road. And what advice would you give present Pierce?
Honestly, to be a little more ballsy than I already am. Like, I'm pretty ballsy, but sometimes
Just push.
I always push, but sometimes I feel like I can push a little more. Not to the extent of like, I'm not gonna be on some gaga shit. Like, I'm really not. You're not gonna see me in like bedazzled face wear. I promise, none of that. But
So to present Pierce, push a little bit more
yeah,
than you already do.
yeah.
And finally, my last question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years and in 10 years?
A household name, hopefully, and I don't mean that in like a boasting kind of way. I know where I'm headed, and I know where I want to go, as well as leading my own foundation to bring money and light to kids with developmental and social problems, as well as kids who have learning disorders and things like that. Just to show them that, like, we can do it, you know, and that shouldn't be a deterrent from their path. It should be something, if anything, a blessing in disguise, you know, because I had to learn later in life that my quote-unquote disorder was actually a blessing. It's not something that's gonna deter me from my path, but actually help me progress on it if I learn how to use it the right way.